Coach, what went into the decision to wear sleeves today?
Well, my friend Ward Manuel said, congratulations, but you're wearing sleeves, no shorts, and a cap. So that's what went into it.
Front left here, Steve.
If Rayshon wreaked some havoc for you up front, talk about what went into this, moving him out there and what he did for you on the field today.
Yeah, I thought he set the tone early. Wink had a really good plan. We're going to move him around more, so you have to account for him. And he is a very, very explosive player. And I thought he set the tone early and kept going for us.
On the right, Sam.
Justice Haynes has been really consistent and productive in his first 3 starts. What have you seen from him in practice, and what do you see from him today?
Give me that again.
Justice Haynes has been really productive his first 3 starts. What did you see from him today?
Yeah, he rushed for over 100 again. Coming into the game, he was the 4th leading rusher in the nation, and he's very dangerous. You know, I think he got a 70 called back or something like that. So he's developing, and he's a dynamic back, and we have a bunch of dynamic backs.
In the back there, Austin.
Biff, was it by design for Bryce to use his legs more today, or is that just him seeing an opening and making plays?
Sharon really wanted to open things up with him a little bit when he felt it was the right time to do so. And, you know, he's young and you want to kind of scale him into it. And Chip Lindsey really took that mandate and I think did a great job. Bryce is just, you know, so it was a plan to get him using his legs a little more, but, I mean, I have a Labrador retriever that could coach that guy. I mean, he's unbelievable.
On the left here, Aaron.
Similar question. How much of a difference do you think it made with Bryce using his legs today?
I think it's critical because what he does is he does not. When a quarterback can extend a play, you know, you're a defense. You play 2 plays really well, and you think you're getting off the field, and this kid extends the play with his legs. Those things are heartbreaking for defenses. I mean, it takes a lot out of you, and it breaks your spirit a little bit. And he's he's gifted. I mean, y'all saw that, but he is so gifted. Whew. I'm glad we got him.
On the right, Alina.
Morgan had 4 receptions today in that 32-yarder. What have you seen from him today?
Yeah, Samaj is a very valuable player. He obviously plays on special teams, and he's a electrifying player on offense. He's a guy, a lot of those catches, you know, some of them were longer, but he'll take a swing pass and turn it into 8, 10, 12 yards. And you have to account for him when he's in the slot. And that's sometimes hard to do. So I thought he played really well.
Up front here, Tony.
Yeah, Biff, just one more about Bryce's legs. How much does that open up lanes for the running backs as well?
Well, I think today, if you look at today, we didn't start out the game rushing the football with great dominance. And when he started using his legs, some of them some design runs that Coach Moore really felt strongly about, that kind of got him off, to a good start running the football. And then, of course, the scrambles and the broken plays. How do you defend against that? You can't stop it all, right? You have to pick your poison. And with a kid like this, you come into this game and you say, well, what we're going to have to stop is we're going to stop him throwing. And then he winds up, what did he have, Dave, rushing?
114.
114 rushing. And then it just kind of puts your game plan a little bit in the waste paper basket. So it was very important.
On the left, Tom.
Biff, moving back over to the defense, the quality fundamental tackling, was that emphasized this week, and what did you see in the field today in that regard?
Was tackling emphasized? Yeah, yes. We tackle every day. This past week, coming up to this game, those tackling circuits were extended a few periods, and I thought we tackled really well today. And, you know, good football teams tackle well, generally, and in space. So it was a lot of work by Wink and his guys getting that done.
On the right, Chris.
Offensive line shakeup, obviously due to injuries. Can you just talk about how those young guys played and they're replacing those guys?
Yeah, Sharon spent all individual this week with the offensive line. I mean, you know, he was the best offensive line coach in the country for 2 years. He won the back-to-back Moore Award, and in my opinion, the best coordinator too. So he got over there and kind of started looking at things, and I think that that will continue when he gets back. And I think it's really important for our football team. We played, I think, all of our offensive linemen, and there was not an instance in the game, which is rare, where our second and third units were not knocking people off the ball. And I think that's really impressive. And they're very young. It's a young football team, highly talented and very young. And you know, I want to say this. You know, what an odd day. Because this day was actually heartbreaking for me. Because, you know, I have children that are Sharon's age. And we were texting last night, and, just about how much he loves me and I love him. And it was a really hard week in our building, a really hard and emotional week. And I think what people that care realize that football is a game about relationships. And his players love him like you wouldn't believe. And what I would say today was you saw a love letter from 120 young men to their football coach today. And I think that's outstanding.
Got time for about 3 or 4 more. We're going to go Angelique, Ryan, Joel, and Josh. So Angelique, go ahead.
Biff, 2 questions. I was going to ask you about the love letter comment you made at halftime, which you just made. How much of a motivation was it this week for the players to do this, to come out and play for Sharon today?
It was everything. He said, I don't want you playing for me, and I want you playing for yourselves, and I want you playing for the coaches and for Michigan. And as soon as he walked out of the door, I said, we love him, we all work for him, but we're not listening to that. And so they were locked on for him, and it was a very at dinner last night, it was a very tearful, a moment, because the players brought him up and gave the break, had him give the break. And at that point, he left, and he was a wreck, but so was everybody else in there. But so it had a lot to do with Angelique.
My second question is, you've been a head coach. What is the challenge of stepping into this role for you?
Well, as I say, emotionally, I love this guy, and I, so it's hard. It really is hard. But I love Michigan too. And Sharon said to me, he said, he sent me this text, and he, I don't know, about 7 o'clock last night, and he said, you're who I want to do it. I know you'll love our boys to the core. That was the text. So when somebody trusts you like that, and I got to say, I mean, Ward trusted me with this. I'm so grateful, Doug. I'm so grateful. But this was all about Sharon Moore, and it's going to stay all about Sharon Moore.
All right, John.
Just two quick questions about Jay Sean. Do you have an update for him after we saw him go down?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear any of that.
Do you have an update on Jay Sean?
On Jay Sean? Yes. The update? He might be a superhero. We're doing a DNA swab right now, but he could be. That's the update. He's fine.
In the back, Joel. We're done after these two.
No, the schedule gets tougher from here on out, but what we saw offensively today, Bryce being a dual threat, the running game, everything, is this like a textbook example of what this offensive identity needs to be?
Yes, it's an explosive offense. It's designed to be an explosive offense. It's designed to be an up-tempo offense. And it is, you don't know where the football's coming from. You can get reverses, you can get, any different kind of short throws, which is just long runs. There's a multitude of runs from gap schemes to zones, to inside and outside zones. There's a robust screen game, which you didn't really see today. So it is a very hard offense to stop. And I understand what the next question is going to be. We thought in Oklahoma we would take the air out of the ball because they're an air raid offense, and we're not taking the air out of the ball ever again. Not with this guy and taking the snaps.
All right, last question here, Ryan.
How much different was this week for you in preparation for? I know Sharon was with the team, and how much do you think next week will be different for you too, based on or compared to your typical week?
Well, it's going to be a lot different, right? And I'm going to try to do everything that as I think he would do it, and because the players are used to that. And I will say this to you. I've been around a lot of coaches, a lot of really good coaches. Sharon's he's a young superstar. He's a superstar.